Hello. So welcome to Zentangle with Miss Christine. So today we're going to do number 6. It doesn't matter if you've watched the other 5 or only watched a couple of them. I'm just trying to keep track of how many we've done. So this is number 6 for us. If you want to look up all the rest of them, they should be on the YouTube channel, or you can find them on our Facebook page. You can also look there, and you should find the link to the YouTube video. All right. So what we're going to start with is pencil and a black pen. I'm using a specific one, but anything with a fine tip, as long as it's fine tipped, that's what you're going to use. And then for paper, I use cardstock. It's thicker and it doesn't bleed through. But if you don't have cardstock, that's fine. Just use paper. If the pen starts to bleed through the paper, make sure there's something underneath it so you don't ruin the surface that you're on. Alright, so to start, we always draw a box. So you draw your own box. So you're going to put 4 points on your paper. Keep them fairly even distance, and then connect them. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. So draw 4 points. Make a big enough box. Connect them. They don't have to be straight. They can be a little crooked. See? So that's my box. So once I make my box, I can now put what we call tangle in the box. So our first tangle, and I'm going to use a new book today. This one is Zentangle for Kids. It is a library book, and it has a really good assortment of tangles that I think that would be really fun to do. So the first one that I'm going to show you guys today is yin cut. This is what it looks like in the book. Ooh, I can flip it. That's how you're going to do it. This one shows spaces, and the one that I have online also shows spaces. I did a couple of them right here, but we're just going to fill it in like these instead of skipping. Skipping is a little more advanced, so we're just going to do these instead. If you would like to try the skipping, it's just taking a pause in the middle of your line and leaving a space. It's like it's almost like a shine. Some of the techniques they'll show you online will be whiting out the middle of the line or putting white in the middle. It's a shine. But that's also a way to do a shine without using white. Alright, so we're going to take our pen, our fine tip pen, and we're going to draw a grid on your paper. So it doesn't matter how you do it. Because we want the diamond shape though, it's easier to make the lines go across and then across, because then you'll get the diamond shape that you need for your yin cut. If you do them straight, then you'll just turn your paper to make the diamond shape. Alright, so I'll show you. I'm going to just start making my lines, and I try to space them out the same so that I get even boxes. So this is what my first set of diagonals are, and then I'm going to go across the other way. And like I said, I do try to keep them as evenly spaced as possible, because it just makes putting the tangle in the box easier. So this is what my grid came out looking like. So now you can see that because I did them this way and this way, my diamonds are already there. I don't have to turn my paper. So I am going to start with one of the top diamonds. That's a whole diamond. So I want to find one that is a complete diamond on the top, and I'm going to make my first line. So I'm going to use this one, and I'm just going to put my first line down the middle. So that is all I did. I found my first diamond, and I made the line. So now all you're going to do is put lines next to it all the way to the corners on both sides. So you're just going to draw down right next to it. You decide the spacing of your lines. If you want only a couple of lines in the box, then just put a couple. If you want more, the more lines you put, the more defined the box is sometimes, because the next ones that we're going to do are going to be facing the opposite way. So I'll show you. So I'm going to do the one right below that one. So I did the one right below it. So now I'm going to do the one right next to it, one of these, but I'm going to go the opposite direction. So I'm going to turn my paper, and then I'm going to draw the opposite direction. And I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm just going to do half the box so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'll turn my paper, and I did half the box. So now I'm going to do the other half. So these go this way, this one goes this way, and this one will go this way. And I forgot to write the name of this. So again, it's Yin Cut, I-N-C-U-T. That's how I pronounce it. If you listen to it online, that you might find different pronunciations. That's just how I say it. So that's what it looks like so far. And again, I'm going to do the one on the opposite side, and then I'm just going to make the lines go that way. Okay? And there you go. So now I have that pattern. So I'm going to put my paper back over. So what I'm doing is every one that touches this one will go across that line and make them all straight. Every one that touches this one, like see the dot, will go that way. So it's every other one. So these will go straight down, these will go over, these will go over. So just continue your pattern all the way across. Like I said, if you get confused or if you have a hard time figuring out which way the lines are supposed to go, the great thing about it is this is a video. So you can always stop it and go back and see what I did, and hopefully you'll understand. And I keep showing you as I go how I've done it. So hopefully you can pause the video, zoom in a little bit, and see what I'm doing. Alright? So I'm just going to try to get through a few more of these so that I can fill in my box. I know when I watch videos online, because the presenter already knows the pattern that they're going to do, it seems like they can do the pattern so fast, and I can't keep up, so I'm always pausing the video. And that's what you do, because you're learning the pattern. The presenter already knows the pattern, so that's why they can do it a little faster. And I want you to remember that there are no mistakes. So even if your lines don't go exactly how you want them to go, it is fine. It's not a perfect thing. That's why we only use the pencil to make the first box or the tangle that you're gonna to fill in with tangles, because the whole point is just to relax and have fun and not worry. That's the whole point of this. Alright, so I'm going to show you what I've done so far. So I've done all the up and down ones, or at least the full boxes. Right now I'm trying to do a box that's not quite full. This one. So I'm going to show you these in 1 second. Just trying to fill that in. So the ones that are on top are obviously not full boxes. So you just pretend like you know where the rest of it will go, and you just stop at the line. So far I've done all my straight ones, and I just have to finish these on the bottom. But that's how it's going to look. So I do all my straight ones first, and then I'm going to turn my paper and do all the other ones. So it's going in a similar direction. I think up and down is usually easier to do than side to side. But if it works for you side to side, then do all your side to side. Alright, so I'm just going to finish the one on top. Alright, and I'm going to do this little one. The finer the tip, the pen, the closer the lines can be. I started off just using a regular Sharpie pen with a fine tip, so that's usually like a size 5. But as you get more advanced, you can try smaller tip pens. They're much finer and you can make tighter lines. Alright, so now I've done all of my boxes that are straight up and down. Now I'm going to turn my paper and do all of my sideways ones. So alright, so I'm almost done. I just got to fill one box in on the very edge of my paper, and then I will show you what my final result came out like. So that is in cut. I left this little box right here. So I normally add my initials somewhere on my drawing, just so that you know that you did it. So that's what it looks like. It's a pretty cool pattern. Depending on what you're filling it in, it can look like psychedelic almost. I like it. Alright, so I'm going to close my pen, and I'm going to take my pencil, and I'm going to do the second, what's it called, tangle. So we're going to make another box. I'm going to make it right next to the one I just made, and I'm going to make it similar size. The closer you get to making the same size boxes, the better idea you have of your pattern. So there's my box. All right, leave the bottom of your paper because at the end I'm gonna put a big box down here for our project. All right, so the next one I'm gonna teach is mirror. This is what mirror looks like. Looks pretty simple, right? All right, so I just dropped another one out of my book. Okay, so this is mirror. I'm going to show you in the book what it looks like, so you can see how they did it. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is make a line. So make a line on the side of your paper, like here or up here first, okay? So I'm gonna make mine like this. Oh, I should be using my pen. I wasn't paying attention. So get your pen and make your first line. And then make a line right next to it. So it's almost like a border. Just like that. Then you're gonna leave this big space in between, and you're gonna put another set of those lines on this side for the other border. All right, so I'm gonna make another set right here. I'll show you my lines. So that's my border for my mirror, okay? So right in the middle of that, I start at each corner, and you're gonna draw like an S line all the way down to the other corner. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm gonna start here and make an S all the way down. So there's my squiggly line all the way down. So that breaks up my pattern so that I can put the lines going different ways on each side. All right. So first, on this one, obviously I didn't do it, and you don't have to. It's suggestion. It's not. It's your design, so you do it how you want to. You can put the lines closer. You can put the lines farther apart. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to decorate your border, but the book says to do it, so we're going to do that. So in your border, I'm going to have you put circles, and then they're just going to be touching each other, so make sure they're close together, just like that. Just put circles all the way down your border on both sides. So we're just going to fill them in with circles. If they don't touch perfectly, that's fine. We can go back in later and fill in the spots that are white with the black. It's fine. Like I said, there's no mistakes in this. And what you think is a mistake actually makes yours end up looking like yours. It's personal. Okay, so mine are filled in now. Those are my circles. So now I'm going to take my paper and hold it so that the line is across, and I'm going to draw lines coming down towards me. So I'm going to use the bottom one. I don't start right at the edge of the paper. I'm going to start a little further away from that so that my lines can be fairly even. So I don't start right at the edge, because sometimes when I make my line, these lines will actually go up the paper. So I start right here, and then I'm gonna make lines right next to it all the way down. Like I said, you have to use your imagination a little bit, and some of your lines are gonna go off that border because that's where they would go. And I'm just going to keep drawing them all the way down. So see this one is only half a line because it would have went off the paper to connect to the border if it continued. So just keep going all the way down. Make them as close as far apart. When I do this pattern, I always think of when I find a feather. And if you've ever really looked at a feather, the middle line could be like the part that you're holding. And then if you ever look at all the different pieces coming off of the middle, they don't always line up perfectly, but that's what this reminds me of, like a feather. Alright, so there's my one side. So the other side, for me, I'm going to flip it again so that I'm facing down and I can draw the lines towards me. If it's fine for you to leave it the same way, you can do that. But I'm going to flip mine, and again, I'm not going to use the very edge of my paper. I'm going to use more towards the middle and go the opposite direction. So my line, I'm trying to see where I want to start that. And I try not to line them up. They will line up, but I don't do that on purpose. So there's my first line. And then I'm just going to go make sure that all my lines on that side line up with that one. So you'll see the difference when I show you my pattern and the ones that I have to put together that go off the paper. I have to pretend I know where those are going. This one seems to be spacing out a little bit more. Alright, so my other side is a little bit more spaced out than my first side. I can fill in some of those spots, but I'm not going to, because I think the difference makes the line in the middle show up a little bit more. You can always use a pencil for some shading, but we're not going to do that right now. So this one is called Mirror. So this one is M-E-E-R. And that's Mirror. Okay, so I'm just going to throw my initials in this box. Alright, so for the third and final tangle, I'm going to draw another box. Get your pencil, make your points. And this one is called Rain. I don't find this tangle very difficult. For me, it's straight lines, sort of, and zigzag pattern. I find that easy. Some people do not. Some people do better with rounded things. But in this book, it's considered an expert pattern. So we'll try it and see how you do. So this is Rain that I did before. And then this is what it looks like in the book. So we're going to do it like this. This is usually how I do it, but and see the pattern on the umbrella. I like it. It's a good filler. It's kind of fun. Alright, so I'm going to draw 3 lines, and I'm going to go all the way to the top of my box with at least one of them. If I can do 2 of them, that would be awesome, but I can't always. Yeah, I did. Okay. Alright, so those are my 3 lines. So I'm going to start with the farthest one, not the small one, but the big one. It's on my left, but I'm not sure. I think you might see it on the right. So I'm just going to start making my zigzag pattern all the way down to the bottom. So you just start up here and you go down, over, down, over, down, over, down to get to the bottom. You're going to do the same thing on each of the lines. You can make the triangles bigger, smaller, space them out more, make a big one, then a small one. That's what my second one looks like. It's up to you how you do them. You can also change how your triangles go. You can make them a little bit longer, skinnier, whatever. Mine, just try to fit them in so that they don't bump into my ones next to them. So then right after we do all of those, color in, or like I did this one with just the lines. So I just put a pattern in the box and then I just made this one darker. But you can color them in, you can do whatever you want, but make the flags or the triangles dark. Make them dark. If you want to put a color, you're more than welcome to add a color. Like I said, this is your project, so don't feel like you have to do, but I'm telling you, want to put a pattern in the flag or the triangle, go ahead. However you want to do it, that's fine. It's your project. And I know I've said this on past videos, but if you haven't watched them, sometimes the best thing to do is watch the video. I know sometimes they're a little bit long, but watch the video first before you start doing the patterns, and then go back and start the video again, but then do the patterns, just so you have an idea of what's happening. So I'm coloring mine all in, so if you're not coloring yours all in, you're probably going much faster than I am. And I will show you that I've done my second one so far. So that is what mine looks like. And I'm going to finish the last one. Almost done on my final one. Okay, so I've colored in all of my rain. Oh, I didn't write the name again. I am slacking today. Rain. R-A-I-N. Alright, so the next thing that you do is you aura. If you haven't watched any of the videos before, you probably don't know, but in Zentangle, the phrase aura just means that you follow the pattern outside. So it's just kind of bordering the pattern that you did. So I'll show you exactly what I mean. I'm going to aura rain exactly how I did it. So that is my first aura. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now I'm going to do them on all of them, but you can choose to leave one without it. You can choose just to do one, like the middle one. It's up to you how you want to do it. But I'm going to do them all. That is whirring around the first rain. And then the second one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start at the very top. I'm going to aura around my pattern. If yours runs into the one next to it, like this one, you just pretend that the first one that you did is a top layer and the one behind it has to go behind it. So you have to use your imagination and see where that pattern would go if it was behind it. That's why I think they say this is an expert pattern. But I think if you space them, it's not that difficult of a pattern. You just have to be mindful of how you're drawing. Alright, so I'm just going to do my last one, and I'll show you what I did. I sometimes have to turn my paper, depending on my triangles, only to make sure that I stay with the pattern, because sometimes it's more difficult. But that is ordering all the rain. Looks nice, right? I like it. Alright, so the last thing that we're going to do is put them all together. So we're going to draw a big box on the bottom of your paper. So that is why on the bottom of the paper there's this big area. So you're going to make your box so that you can fit the 3 patterns in it. Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Ooh, mine just rounded out. Alright, so that is my box. Like I said, not perfect. That's fine. It doesn't have to be. It just has to be a box. So, originally I told you that there's normally a string when you have more than one pattern in one box. The string is done with a pencil. So you're going to decide how big of an area you want to put your patterns in. Obviously, mirror can be shrunk, but it's up to you how you want to put your patterns in. So you're going to have to decide how you want to make 2 lines in the box to make 3 boxes. So I know I want to put I think I kind of want to put this and this. Alright, so I made mine like this. You can make yours any way you want. You do not have to copy me. So, and even if you do these first set and you do copy me, take another piece of paper and do your own. So I'm going to use mirror first, and I'm going to do the lines that I drew for my string with the pencil. I'm going to use that for my mirror. So I'm going to go over that line real quick, and then I'm just going to put another line right next to it. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to put another line right next to it. So that is what I did. And then I'm going to put my mirror in the middle. So I'm going to take my S line and go right down the middle. So that is my S line. So then I'm going to start with the one on the bottom, and I'm going to draw a line like this. And then I'm just gonna add the lines in, just like we did on the pattern. Because it is such a big area, that's what's going to take longer to draw your lines. That's fine. If your area is smaller, then your mirror is going to go a lot faster. I don't know why I wanted mirror to take over this, but it just felt like it. So that is my mirror on that side. So again, I'm going to flip the paper over. I'm going to draw another line going the opposite direction. So I'm going to take this one and go down. That's what it looks like. So I'm going to now draw all my lines going the opposite direction. Depending on how far away or how spread out you make your lines, that's how long it's going to take you to fill in that. Alright, so there's my other side. So we still have the border to do. Like I said, you can draw the circles like we learned on the top, or you can put whatever you want in that border. So don't feel like you have to put the circles in, but I'm just going to do it because that's what I taught. Obviously these circles are going to be bigger because my border is much bigger. But you can definitely do whatever you want in your border. Alright, so on the other side I'm just going to make my circles.